So you're thinking about selling your home, or maybe you're just a little curious. What's the first thing you do? Yep, you type your address into one of those online estimators to see that magic number. But how much can you really trust it? Let's dive in and figure out how to find out what your home is truly worth.
I mean, that's the big question, right? You see a number pop up from Zillow or Redfin, and your heart either jumps for joy or sinks just a little. But is that number the real story? The truth is, it's usually more of a conversation starter than a final answer.
Look, these online tools are amazing for getting a quick ballpark figure. They give you an instant snapshot, a general idea of where you stand. But you gotta remember, they are just that, the very first step on a much longer journey to finding their true market value.
So what's the tech behind these instant numbers anyway? It's something called an automated valuation model, or AVM for short. Just think of it like a super powerful algorithm that basically gobbles up huge amounts of public data to spit out an estimated value. Now, to understand why AVMs can be a little off, we first have to see what they can look at. They pull together all the basic, publicly available facts about your home, tax records, its size and age, number of bedrooms, and what other homes nearby have sold for recently. It's all about the raw, objective data. But here is the catch. Because these algorithms miss so many of the crucial real-world details, their estimates can be off by 10% or sometimes even more. Now think about that. For a $500,000 home, that's a $50,000 swing. That's a huge margin of error when you're making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. So this brings us to the most important point. What is it that the algorithm can't see? This is where we really separate a simple online estimate from a true expert valuation. Let's dig into these blind spots. An AVM can get tripped up for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes there just aren't enough recent sales in your specific neighborhood for it to make a good comparison. It might be working with old data, like it has no idea you just put in a new bathroom. But the biggest thing, it has absolutely no idea what your home actually looks and feels like on the inside. This is a huge problem for unique properties. So imagine you have this beautiful, classic side hall colonial in a neighborhood like Annandale. Well, if all the recent sales nearby are for, say, modern split levels, the AVM just gets confused. It's trying to compare apples and oranges, and it just can't properly value what makes your home special. And this right here, this might be the biggest flaw of all. An AVM sees two homes with the same square footage and the same age and thinks they're basically identical. But what if one has a stunning brand new kitchen and perfect landscaping, while the one next door hasn't been touched in 20 years? An algorithm can't tell the difference, but you can bet a person can. Okay, so we've laid out all the limitations of the automated approach, which, of course, leads us to the next logical question. What's the alternative? How do you get past a ballpark guess to a number you can actually take to the bank? And that is where human expertise comes into play. A local real estate agent brings a professional analysis to the table, and their most powerful tool for this is called the comparative market analysis, or CMA. A CMA isn't just about crunching public data. It's a detailed, hands-on process. An agent uses their expertise and their access to real-time market info to find recently sold properties, we call them comps, that are truly similar to yours. And then they go way deeper into the details. Let's walk through it. First, an agent finds the best comparable sales. Then, and this is absolutely key, they make adjustments. Does the comp have a slightly bigger yard? Okay, they'll adjust for that. Does your home have a finished basement and the comp doesn't? That's another adjustment. They factor in your home's actual condition because they've seen it with their own two eyes. And finally, they analyze what's happening in your specific neighborhood right now to land on a precise value. So let's put them head to head. An AVM, that's a mathematical guess based on public data. A CMA, that's an expert human analysis using real-time MLS data, the stuff professionals use. An AVM sees broad trends, while a CMA knows the little nuances of your specific street. One is completely blind to your home's condition. The other is built on an in-person assessment. So what does all this mean for you? Well, it really comes down to a choice between raw data and, well, the ground truth. The reality of your home in your neighborhood in today's market. Now, the takeaway here is not that online tools are useless. They're not. They're a fantastic way to start the conversation and just get your bearings. But when it's time to make a serious decision, you need to move from that first look to the final word. And that comes from a detailed expert analysis. This pretty much says it all, doesn't it? Go ahead, use the technology, use it to educate yourself and start your journey.
But when the stakes are high, the nuanced advice of a trusted professional, someone who understands your local market and has actually walked through your home, is what truly matters.
And that really leaves us with this final thought. Your home is more than just square footage and the number of bathrooms, right? It's about the care you've put into it, the upgrades you've made, and its unique place in the neighborhood. So the real question is, can an algorithm ever truly know your home's story?